Hello and welcome back to another video. As you can see, today we're going to be changing the exhaust manifold gasket, as you can see in the title. Let's get straight onto it. Doesn't need any introduction really, just a continuation of what we was doing the other day when I was trying to pinpoint the actual fault. So while I just let the WD-40 soak there for a minute, I have already changed the back box on this. I actually made a video yesterday. I'm not entirely happy with it, if I'm honest. There's bits that I've cut out because I've not pressed record properly. The sound of the first start up, I'll put the receiver on top of the transmitter, vice versa, and now we've got a plane going by, so it actually didn't pick up the sound at all. It completely muted it for some reason, but I'll probably put that clip in the start somewhere. I haven't decided where I'm going to put it yet. Depends how this one turns out really. This one might be total rubbish as well, so you might not ever see this. Anyway, so I've had all this off before, quite a few years ago, where I replaced the gasket. The reason why these tap is because I never even thought about it, to be honest. I was convinced there was something wrong with the engine side itself, whether it's just a gasket that's gone. It weren't until I phoned up to order the gasket at my Motor Factors that they turned around and said, without even sort of prompting, they said they're quite common on these engines for some reason. The 8 valves don't do it, but the 16s do quite often blow gaskets. I was also told, although it's less common according to him, for these manifolds to actually get a crack in them, but I've heard it from a few different people, so I know that there is a possibility there. As I said many years ago, I think 2020, I had this, was it 2020? I can't remember. I've had this off a few years ago. I had to actually drill out one of these holes, I think, and re-tap it because the bolt got seized in there and it sheared off, which is just typical. That's the trouble when you do exhaust type work. It never really goes to plan entirely. So yeah, giving that WD-40 about 2 minutes now, so that'd be plenty of time, I think. Yeah, let's. I will say what I wanted to say, going back to the point about changing the exhaust over the back box. The back box is completely different, which is what this car is supposed to have. And I did do the intro, but unfortunately the camera, for whatever reason, didn't record it. Well, it's me, isn't it? Not pressing bloody record. But anyway, so yeah, the car drives completely differently. It's got loads of power back, so I think it was actually creating too much back pressure, which caused this to go. Yeah, so anyway, that's enough rambling. Let's take this off, shall we? see where that's been leaking. All around here. Probably a little bit around there as well. All looks good on the bottom here though. Gasket's still intact. We'll give that another go. You can actually see this has started delaminating. Just got some 000 steel wool here. Just give that a rub over. So the idea here is don't want to use something too abrasive, just something that's just going to clean off the mating surface. I mean, it all feels pretty flat, to be honest. As I say, I think a lot of this was largely due to the back pressure I created with that exhaust, so a lot of it's down to me, I think. Right, that's that surface all cleaned up. Just blow it all out with the air blower that I got here. New gasket. Might have helped if I bought a knife down in the first place. Part number is MG5586, as you can probably see there. It's a BG Automotive BGA brand. Whether they're any good or not, I don't know. We'll find out, I suppose. Oh, that knife do anything? There we go. Helps I've pull it the right way round, doesn't it? There we go, that's that there. So what I'm going to make sure that I do is get some copper slip on these threads here. Just give us best success at getting these off in the future if we ever need to go there. We'll do the same for the studs as well. This is copper grease, by the way. Okay. I almost forgot. Got to do the actual manifold as well, haven't we? Might be better off using something a little bit more abrasive for this. Not perfect by any means, but I'd say that'll do the job. Just popped a bit of copper slip into these holes here, particularly this one. This one didn't seem too happy, and there's the part number should you need it. Right, let's get this back on the car, shall we? let's lead by example, shall I? Oh look, isn't that so much easier? These are all done up to 22 newton meters of torque. Right, okay, that's everything done now. Let's give it a start. Obviously this is a cold run, so yeah, let's see if the ticking's gone, shall we? I'll leave my microphone here. Cold start, that's a nice smooth running engine with no silly ticking. Look at that. Right, so that's the test drive completed. As you can hear, or maybe can't hear, engine's running as sweet as a nut at the minute. No more ticking, that's gone. That was a cold start, as you see there. Bit of smoke coming off the manifold where I've been squirting WD-40 and putting the copper slip on the bolts and everything. So yeah, that's it for this one. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again in another video. Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. We're lying under my 1995 Cavalier at the moment. We are going to have a look at the exhaust manifold gasket. Now the one thing I want to change is this exhaust back box. There's actually nothing wrong with it, except that it's the wrong back box for this car, and I think potentially that's what's caused the manifold gasket to fail so prematurely. It's been on there a few years, mind, but I have been told that these are quite renowned for blowing their head gasket. It's only on the X20XEV engine, I believe. Well, I don't know if that goes with the other 16 valve units. So I thought it's only fair that we change this over. You know, just to give the new gasket the best possible chance. So I'll start off by undoing this clamp and get these rubber mounts off. I absolutely love doing exhaust work. You can see on this side how it's actually attached here. You just obviously it's pretty self-explanatory really, but you literally pull this flap over, and this one feels a bit rusty actually, and once you get them to move they will slide off. This joint here is now moving, although you can't see that while I'm sort of doing this single-handedly. Just about see it move there, not very well probably, but the joint is moving now, so hopefully we can start to pull this out. That's the main thing really. I'm actually saving this exhaust for someone else because, as I say, it is the wrong one. I don't know if they'd want it. It's in a bit of a bad condition than I thought. Not that it's really bad, it's just not new, is it? So I'll continue wrestling with this for a little while. The exhaust out, we'll give this a clean up. There's nothing wrong with this midsection, and then yeah, we'll get the new one back on. Yeah, so this one is most definitely had it. It doesn't look too bad on the outside, but as you can hear there, as soon as you move it about, you can hear a load of rust inside, so it's obviously the silencer itself is broken down internally. We've suffered a casualty here. There's no way this is any good for anyone else, so it's obviously starting to rust here. It's gone by the weld, but you can see the size difference. Yeah, that's quite a difference there, and I wonder why this one was being a bit restrictive. Bit of a story with it really. Company sent out the wrong one. I went and exchanged it and gave me this one, which I believe is for a 2 litre 8 valve. But there you go, that's what you get for buying online, isn't it? That was a few years ago now though, so yeah, enough chat, let's get this new one on. But you're rude not to start this up and hear it run really, wouldn't it? Let's do that. that's all cleaned up. Probably not really the right stuff to use as sealant. I have heard of other people using copper grease as a exhaust sealant. I think that's why the other one come off, well, I say without too much fuss. I mean, it's a bit of a joke really, and I don't think this exhaust is going to be on here particularly long anyway, because it is used rather than buying a new one. Like I said before, because I'm cheap, so you know, there you are, that's what you get. I must admit, when I revved it up just a second ago, it sounds just that little bit different. It sounds smoother in a roundabout way, a way that one of these engines, the 16 valve engine, should sound like, in my opinion. So yeah, move on to the exhaust manifold gasket next.